Louis. Cariah's allowing that to go outside that off stump. So Louis just warm into the task. 3 slips and a gully.
That delivery, Colin, sorry, that delivery that Bravo got out, it was almost a leg spinner.
Yeah.
And it pitched outside leg. He was shuffling and it was just moving away from him, and it took the outside edge outside the off stump.
Bravo seemed to have struggled though, he never looked himself in either innings. He came out and was just, they seemed to, that's another delivery that rose sharply at Cariah. He handled it well, took the bottom hand away. So the end of the first over, Yannick Cariah is carried his total to 40, and it's 147 for 6. Yeah, he never looked settled. He never looked as if he was in command of the situation. He was getting. They obviously targeted outside the line of the off stump to him with 3 slips and a gully and more predominantly offside field, and he was leaving alone a lot of the deliveries, especially from Berridge, because he was just a little too wide of the off stump. But Bravo never at any time seemed to be, getting on top of the bowling.
Yeah, that's correct. The way he batted and the way he looked in this match surprised me. I know he was out of form previously, but he had a very good local tournament in the premiership of the club cricket here in Trinidad, and he played in a T20 tournament and never got out. And he scored about 4 half centuries in that T20, and he looked exceptionally well.
So you would have thought he would have brought the form into
I
this?
thought, well, he was back in form, because also in the 50 over final, he got to 80, and he was not out there too. So he looked very well. He looked like the Bravo of old. So I was thinking that the guy is back in some form. I even said that at the beginning of the match here. But he didn't look the part at all.
Well, Colin Archibald is the man from the bowling from the northern end. Picked up 4 wickets in the first innings. He's yet to get a wicket here in the second innings. Bowling to Brian Charles. Runs for Charles. That ball running off the face of the bat and going out to a wideish third man position for 4. So Archibald pitching one up to him, and he was in defence, and it just may have just deviated, and the ball coming off more the bottom part of the bat and running out towards that wideish third man for 4. So Charles is also off the mark. The 150 is now up. It's 151 for 6. Brian Charles is on 10 from 26 deliveries.
Well, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes continue to depend on their fast bowlers. They have started.
Surprised at that they
not really. Although the spinners did exceptionally well yesterday, I thought that they have been getting wickets, the fast bowlers as well. So why not start with them? Personally, I thought I would have started with the spin and the pace.
Yeah. Cornwall 14 overs, 2 for 14, almost unplayable.
Well, 14 of those overs, 8 were maidens, 4 went to Darren Bravo. 4 maidens Cornwall had bowled to Bravo. This is why I thought he didn't look the part at all compared to how he looked a few weeks ago in the local cricket in Trinidad here.
Was it a situation of paying too much respect to Cornwall on the surface?
I'll try to answer that in a while, Colin.
Oh, that goes right through Cornwall. I thought he had it covered. Ball coming off the outside edge, but along the ground, and they were able to pick up 2 runs.
Well, we were just discussing Bravo's. I was just discussing Bravo's technique to the spinners, where he was playing with the bat right in front of the pad instead of at the side of the pad. And Cornwall had him really tied down, because Cornwall is a decent spinner. I thought Darren Bravo struggled against quality spin bowling at the test level at times. Ashwin, these guys used to get him out regularly.
But the thing with Bravo though, during his career, he seemed, Charles, looking to play a drive, wasn't to the pitch, and the ball hit and cut away from the outside edge. Luckily for him, didn't take the edge and went through to the keeper. Yeah, the thing with him, early in his career, and well, let's say middle of his career, before the last couple of years, he had enjoyed playing spin. He seemed to be more at home and comfortable playing against spinners.
Yeah, I believe that as well. Somehow, I don't know if at the higher level, at the test level, he probably struggled against the better spinners. And yesterday, Cornwall is a decent off spinner. And yesterday, he really was bowling a good length and line. And Bravo couldn't really play too many shots.
Yeah, Cornwall seems to be coming off the field. That ball went through him. He didn't field it cleanly. May have just got his fingertips to it, and he could have done some damage to his fingers. But there he is coming off the field. He's looking at his hand. So I'm just wondering if
it's his right hand as well.
Yeah, that's not good news for Leewards, but good news for Trinidad and Tobago, because if Cornwall can't bowl, it means they've got one less problem to contend with. It is dropping seemed to have dropped just in front of him. It didn't appear to carry. At one minute I thought it was all along the ground, but it seemed to have dropped just before Cornwall, and it would have done some damage to his fingers. It just didn't get down in time. So the end of the over from Archibald, it's 153 for 6. Charles is 12, Cariah is on 40.
So, no success yet for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. These two at the wicket, I'm sure they are intent on trying to bat as long as they possibly can. I wonder if any of them has ever batted out an entire day's play.
Well, Yannick Cariah
he has the capability really.
to do something like that. But I'm not too sure of Brian Charles and the rest of the bowlers to come, because it's really the 3 fast bowlers left.
Yes.
So you can't hold out much hope that Trinidad and Tobago will survive the day. The ardent Trinidad and Tobago supporter will want a miracle.
Yeah.
But I think if the Red Force get 225, they would have done well. Can't see it happening. So Jeremiah Louis from that southern end. Cariah is a very determined player, isn't he? He's not a flamboyant, extravagant type of player, but he's determined, he's courageous, he will fight to the very end, and that's how he plays his cricket. Even when he's on the ball bowling, he's fielding, he's a type of cricketer that will give you 100%.
Well, I like his temperament. If he get guys on the other end can stay around with him, I wouldn't be too surprised if he can reach 3 figures, Colin.
Yeah, that will do his confidence loads of good, because a couple years ago he had got into the West Indies A team, and he was getting runs on a regular basis for the Red Force. Got into the West Indies A team and never really did that well. Got a couple 20s and that type of thing, but didn't get the big scores that he needed to sort of break into the West Indies team. But then I think his cricket since then has really not nosedived, but hasn't been as consistent. Yeah.
But he's done well at this level, really, at the regional level. He has some good scores. He has a few first-class hundreds. He's got a high score for 194 as well. His bowling may be a little underrated, or he probably would have been overshadowed by the leg spin of Imran Khan over all these years, because that's when Yannick Cariah played most of his cricket, when Imran Khan was the main leg spinner.
Talking about Imran Khan, just come back to him. He has seemed to have, I can't remember Imran Khan early in his career getting the kind of wickets he's got since he's turned 28 and beyond. He seemed to have got better with age.
Well, he actually came on the Trinidad team as a batsman, a specialist batsman.
Opening batsman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was opening, but he came on as a specialist batsman. And then he started bowling the leg breaks, googlies as a part-time, not a regularly used spinner. Started to get a couple of wickets, and then he kept on improving. He kept on getting wickets, and then he's the leading wicket taker as a Trinidadian at the regional level.
Yeah. And he's what? He's about 35 now, 36?
I think it's a couple of years older than that.
Yeah.
38, 39 around there.
I don't know how long he can go for, because these type of games take its toll. But he's done well so far. He's led Trinidad and Tobago to 2 victories before this game, and couldn't play this game. It would have been interesting. Not sure what much of a difference he would have made here. But his leadership, he's proven with his leadership in the first 2 games that he's quite capable of leading this Trinidad and Tobago team. Of course, Joshua Da Silva, a novice at captaincy, has taken over the reins for this game. It's been a baptism for him, because Trinidad and Tobago has really struggled. It's a single for Cariah. Goes to 42 now from 111 balls. That's the other thing with the temperament of Yannick Cariah. He's not going to be worried about. He's almost. I don't want to compare him to Tejnarine Chandapol, but he's in that mold that he will get his runs no matter what. Nothing seems to perturb him.
Yeah.
Whether you can play out 2 overs, 3 overs without scoring, and he's not worried.
Yeah, he's not flustered at all at the wicket. He can face a couple of maidens and it doesn't really bother him. Well, he certainly would need that sort of temperament here today, because if there's any chance whatsoever of Trinidad and Tobago saving this game, it would all more or less fall on the shoulders of Yannick Cariah at this stage.
It's a tall order. Just couldn't get any of the recognised batsmen to stay with him. But credit to the Leeward Islands bowlers. Their tails were up, having set Trinidad and Tobago that victory target of 459. Solozano and Webster, the 2 openers, failing again. That must be very worrying for the Red Force. And then Darren Bravo failed in both innings.
Well, bar Joshua Da Silva and probably Yannick Cariah, I don't think the batting really.
Yeah. Well, Jason Mohammed,
yeah,
he got 36, but I don't know.
He was dropped as well,
yeah,
on 18 or 20, somewhere there, and at cover.
Well, I was about to say that he didn't really look comfortable at when I say comfortable, he didn't look set really at all times. He seemed to, he gave you the impression that he might get out at any time.
Yeah, he looked as though he decided he was going out there and he was going to go at the bowling.
Well, I see Joshua Da Silva's parents are there. That's a real support. When your son is out, the team has got a mammoth 459 to get. They want 56 for 6, but you come still to lend support. That's fantastic. Runs for Cariah, just a single. So he goes to what, 43? And the total to 157 for 6. This partnership certainly building. Partnership building here between Cariah and Charles. It's well played. The end of another over from Archibald. He's now bowled 9 overs, none for 46. So the partnership at the moment 29 from 69 balls.
was slow progress here by the TNT Red Force, middle order and lower order batting. The run scoring probably not as important as staying at the wicket, but 29 runs, not too bad. They've not lost any wickets, the TNT Red Force.
Yeah, at 128 for 6 yesterday, Anil, you could have felt that the Leeward Islands may have felt that they were in with a chance of winning the game in 3 days. I think Louis is getting some bounce, isn't he? I can't recall, well, outside of Shannon Gabriel and to a lesser extent Anderson Phillip, Louis seems to be getting the ball to constantly rise at Yannick Cariah, and he's having to withdraw that bottom hand.
And it wasn't all that short as well. He's got a bit of pace, Jeremiah Louis. He puts a lot of effort into his bowling.
Yeah, he's really had a good game though, both with bat and ball.
You can see him really bending his back there and putting a lot of hand speed in his deliveries.
What's your take on the pitch? Seems still playing very well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's played basically the same way from day one.
Yeah, we thought by today there would have been a lot of turn and that type of thing, but it hasn't really materialized.
I was promising myself that I would go out after yesterday's play to have a look at the pitch to see what really held it together so nicely. It has not deteriorated. It didn't get dusty, and it has been playing pretty good even up to today, the final day.
Yeah, it has.
You remind me, Colin, to go and have a look at it today.
I will remind you, no problem. At the end of the, I will go out with you as well, just in case you get threatened by anybody. What you're doing out there on the pitch.
Okay.
But I'm a little surprised. I thought by today it would have been misbehaving a little bit, but so far you look at Yannick Cariah and you look at Brian Charles. They're playing relatively comfortable to the bowling.
Yeah, we haven't seen the ball do anything untoward really. Natural swing from the bowlers, that's their skill. And Jeremiah Louis is certainly able to swing the ball. That delivery I was talking about to Darren Bravo yesterday, that was a blinder. I thought that was the delivery of the match. Pitching outside leg and Bravo getting caught outside off stump. Caught behind that was.
Yeah, that's...
I was wondering, what did that ball drop on?
You have to, in circumstances like that, you may have to consider that Darren Bravo was a little bit unlucky.
Well, he couldn't believe it, Darren Bravo. He stood at the crease for a while. I say he probably saw the umpire's hand go up for a no ball. Why isn't he walking? But that was a beauty, Colin.
157 for 6. Here's Louis. So, just reminding Cariah that he's around and he's a fast bowler with a bouncer. And Cariah just pitching it short, and Cariah just bending at the knees and allowing it to go through, not being tempted into a hook shot. So these two continue to battle on here for Trinidad and Tobago. Archibald, no doubt, is going to continue. He's had 9 overs, none for 46. Colin Archibald picked up 4 wickets in the first innings, but yet to get a wicket in this one. But not for the want of trying. He's really bent his back and has given everything. He's bowling to the right-handed Brian Charles.
Well, the 3 big quickies to follow, Colin. Seals, Phillip and Gabriel at 9, 10 and Jack.
There's not much hope there with those 3.
Well, I hope they're not listening to you.
Well, I mean, unless they come good today and or each of them better their first class scores.
That's what is needed. But here is Charles. He's looked pretty sound against the quick bowlers, Charles.
He
Would have been
has.
interested if they had started with a pace and spin to see how he handles the space. I don't think that he's technically adept as he is looking to the fast bowling. He's looking pretty well organized here to the quick bowlers. He's picking up the line pretty good, and his defensive product looking pretty decent.
Yeah, he's looked very comfortable at the moment. Maybe the ball just pitching on or around the off stump and leaving him gives him a little bit of anxious moments.
That is close.
Loud appeal, not out, says the umpire.
Well, he was
Umpire
shuffling in
plays.
front of the stump.
Yeah.
Appears to be
So-
bouncing. Let's have a look at it here. Probably bouncing too high. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it probably would have gone over the stump. And he was off his toes as well.
Colin Archibald.
A bit of a stifled appeal. The
well,
wicket keeper as well did not go up with any appeal.
Archibald was very confident. But then again, bowlers tend to be very confident when they appeal.
Well, he could have been misled by the shuffle across the stump by Charles. He was in front of the stump, but the ball definitely was too high.
Yeah, the ball was actually making some height. Brian Charles again, just in defence, looks very competent. I think with these bowlers, Anil, when they start to look to play shots, that's where the problem comes in, because they tend to look to drive with the bat away from the body and these kind of things. But in defence, he looks very compact.
Yeah. Two slip, a gully. There's a cover and a mid-off. And he plays this fine down to fine leg. The man at fine leg has a chase around, and he does well to stop it.
That's Berridge. Well, we had some confusion there because they thought it was two, and Charles took off for two. Cariah was turning and started to run for the second, and all of a sudden Berridge throw was coming in, rifled in right over the stumps, and Brian Charles had to send Cariah back. He was about way up the pitch, and luckily for him, he turned and he got back home.
Well, I wouldn't blame Charles there too much. The only blame I would put on him is for leaving the danger in too early, but that certainly was too calling. I thought that Cariah was extremely slow with that first run, and hence the reason Charles was a couple of yards down the crease, because he himself thought that was through. Cariah is guilty of that as well. He did it yesterday a couple of times. There were a couple of twos that he took one, and there were a couple of singles that he did not take as well.
So the end of the over from Archibald, just one run coming from it. He's now 10 overs, none for 47, and that final delivery just short, and Cariah not able to find the gap. He hit it straight to Hayden Walsh, and there was no run. So the two batsmen just having a mid-wicket conference as we look at the bowling figures. Berridge 11 overs, 1 for 23. Louis 13 overs, 3 for 30. Cornwall 14 overs, 2 for 14. That's excellent. He hasn't come back on the field yet. Rakeem Cornwall. Archibald, he's 10 overs, none for 47. Ward has just had the 1 over, a maiden. Carty, he's had 2 overs, none for 3. And Hayden Walsh, he's just had 6 overs so far in this innings, none for 26. If these two continue for maybe another 20 minutes, we may very well see Walsh into the attack, because Cornwall is off the field.
Yeah, I'd like to see that though.
Oh, Charles, that's naughty. You could see him admonishing himself, because he's slapped his right thigh as if to say that's a naughty shot, and it was a naughty shot. He was trying to cut at a delivery that made some height, could so easily have got the edge. There are 3 slips and a gully, all waiting for the catch. Well, not so much a gully, more of a backward point. But 3 slips go down. That's better from Charles. Picked up the line early and just shuffled across and allowed it to go through. It's much better batting. Nice sunny conditions here again at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. It's really been 3 fine days. I was listening to the weather forecast, Anil, and we're seeing that some tropical wave may be heading this way by Monday.
So you started listening to the weather forecast as well?
I'm following you. Because when I heard you talking about the weather and all of these things, I decided let me listen last night so I could be au courant when you start to talk. Yeah, but,
okay.
But there's some tropical wave. I hope it just lasts a day, because don't forget the next round of this tournament, the round 4, starts next week Wednesday at the same 3 locations.
And round 5 as well would follow the following week.
Yeah. It's tough cricket for these guys, but if you're going to play first-class cricket and you want to make a career out of it, then you've got to take the good with the bad. I mean, when you look at county cricket, for example, those guys play 6 and 7 days a week.
Well, you've got to have a certain level of fitness really to be playing a first-class sport. So I guess they're all pretty well prepared. But it's a grueling thing, calling 4 days consecutive from 10 in the morning to 5:30. It's not easy going out there. And you should know that.
Well, and then of course with the advent now of T20 cricket, is where you play for 3.5 hours, 4 hours max. You think, well, that seems a little better than trying to play for 4 days of cricket, But it's interesting, because you think of the mindset of people that of cricketers. When that could be close, hit him on the back pad, but might have been outside the line of the off stump. No real appeal, more of a stifled appeal from the
I don't know if it hit the back pad. Let's look.
Too sure. Let's see. Seemed to have come into him as well.
Well, if it hit the front pad, that would have been out.
Yeah. Well,
did it hit the front pad?
I'm not too sure, because there's Rakim Cornwall.
Well, there's a bandage on his finger.
Yeah. Well, that's not good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a bandage on that second finger. So.
And it is a bowling hand as well.
It's
and the middle finger. So, that's bad news there.
He may not be able to go on and bowl.
Well,
we was just getting back to the point about the mindset of cricketers. From young, and I think Yannick Cariah made the point in an interview a little earlier, when he talked about wanting to play, a desire to play for the West Indies. Of course, in the old days, the desire was to play Test cricket, because there was no T20 around, and very limited. The ODIs just started in the 70s. So when you get back to the golden days of the Sobers and the Hunts and those guys, there was no limited over cricket. So the only cricket you could have played was 4 and 5 grueling days of cricket, from 10 in the morning till whatever time it would finish. Now it's easy to go and play for 3-4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, T20 cricket, and the kind of money you make, as opposed to playing 5 days or 4 days of cricket, it's insane.
It's easy as well to commentate in a T20 match, Colin.
Oh, it's much better. I tell you what, it's you go there for 4 hours and you're back home.
Yeah. These 4-day games starting at 10 a.m. it really takes a toll on us as well.
That's well played from Cariah. He's going to pick up a single, because there's no mid-on. So, and he was just pushing that ball out in front of him on the onside, and Carty, he had to go from a mid-off to a mid-on to do the fielding, and they pick up another single. So Cariah moves on by 1. He's at 44 now, from 122 deliveries. 300 runs now the target to win, but 459 is the actual target, but 300 runs needed if Trinidad and Tobago Red Force were to go on to win the game, and I think that may not be in their minds. I think at this point in time, Anil, when they went out this morning, you would think that they would have said, listen, we just need to bat. Let's just bat and see what happens. You know, very unrealistic to think, well, we're going to challenge the 459, or, you know, it's just a matter of going out and just batting.
Yeah,
and things will take care of itself.
It really was a formality before the start of the day's play call, and it still remains a formality here. But you've got to give these two batsmen some credit for putting up some resistance, and they've done well so far. Pretty slow in doing it, but that is not really of any consequence whether they score quickly or not. As a matter of fact, Cariah's 44 came off 122 deliveries.
And you can bet your life that Cariah is going to continue batting like this.
Yeah. Well,
no matter who is at the next end.
Well, let's see how long the resistance would continue. As Archibald, he has none for 48. He was the main wicket taker in the first innings. He got 4 for 27, I believe. And he had bettered Jeremiah Louis' figures, who had 4 for 32, I thought it was.
Yep, that's correct.
So Archibald struggling in the second innings to pick up a wicket.
Yes, and he's just completed his 11th over, none for 49, and as Brian Charles picks up a single off the last ball, so he has the strike at 164.6.
Well, would we see an early introduction of Hayden Walsh? I thought that it took a long while to bring him on the first innings, and even here as well yesterday. I don't think he bowled in the evening, did he? Walsh?
Yeah, he had a couple of overs. 6 overs.
Okay. Yeah, but it took long as well to bring him on, yes, in both innings. I couldn't understand it at one time. Now that Cornwall is off the field and seem to have had some cut on the middle finger of the bowling hand, it's hardly likely that he would take any further part in the game. So, well, she should be warming up, Colin.
Well, they've turned to Berridge, so unless they're going to go with a double change and bring Walsh from the northern end, they've decided to take Louis off. They're giving him a breather. Louis has completed 14 overs so far. So he's had 4 overs this morning. So we're into the 9th over of the day's play.
Berridge, probably the tallest of the Leeward Island Hurricane quickies. He's got some long levers.
So the target has reduced under 300 now. But that certainly doesn't matter. 299 runs needed, and more importantly, the Leeward Islands just need 4 wickets. Kieran Powell there at first slip, he's had a wonderful match. He's pounded down the door of the selectors. He hasn't opened it, he's pounded it down, broke it down more than anything else. It's a good delivery from Berridge, just angling into the right-handed Charles.
It's very well played as well.
Yeah.
Everything right and behind the delivery.
The thing with Brian Charles, the longer he stays there, Anil, is the more confident he will get. Once he gets a bat on to ball.
Well,
not that I expect him to play any swashbuckling type of innings, but he's going to stay and fight.
Well, I hope when the bad ball comes along that he's able to put it away as well. Looking good in defence is one thing, but you got to be able to score off the bad deliveries. But I think the main intent is occupation of the crease early. Gorgeous morning in the valley, Colin. 4 lovely days we have had. As a matter of fact, the rain has not interrupted this game whatsoever. None of the games, as a matter of fact, in Trinidad. We've had lovely weather over the last 4 days.
In Barbados, fighting back against Guyana. They were asked to follow on. And the last we heard, they were 66 without loss. Craig Brathwaite is...
That was the overnight score? Was it? Or
no, that's
the latest?
The latest was 66 for none, but Craig Brathwaite, you don't expect him to field in 2 innings.
Well, we were seeing that game yesterday, but I've seen it coming on today.
Well, the end of the over from Berridge, and Charles takes a single again off the final delivery, so he's pinched the strike now for 2 consecutive overs. So he goes to 16, it's 161 for 6.
Well, Jimbo is going out there. We don't know if he's going to stay out. I don't think so. Even though he's staying out, I don't think he's going to be bowling. But if he did get cut on the finger, I don't think he should be on the field, because once the ball hits that finger,
you can do more damage.
Yeah, you can aggravate that.
Yes, I can see the bandage still on the finger.
Yannick Cariah has been on 44 for the longest while. Charles is on 16 or 57 deliveries.
Yeah, but Cariah, he hasn't faced...
Had a strike.
The last 2 overs, it's been dominated by Charles. And then he picks up a single off the last ball.
Well, it really doesn't matter who gets the strike. Once they can stay out there, that should be their mindset.
Archibald is going to continue. Archibald is coming around the wicket now to Charles. Cornwall just directing some traffic here. He's making some changes to the field. He's putting a man at deep backward square. Now, that's interesting, because I haven't seen Charles attempt to play a hook shot. So, are they seeing something in maybe just trying to tempt Charles a little bit, bowl him a couple short deliveries?
Well, Raheem Cornwall has taken over, and he has come out there with a definite ploy, really. He looks as though he's looking to bowl some short pitch deliveries to Brian Charles. There's a fine leg. He's come along much wider. There's a leg gully. There's a man just forward of the square leg umpire, 3/4 way to the boundary, and there is a forward short leg with a short mid-on.
Yeah, it gives me the impression, and you look at the field, it's a 4-5 field, 4 on the offside, 5 on the on. Gives me the impression that Archibald is going to be bowling short to the body, more or less, of Brian Charles, because he's got Hayden Walsh about 3/4 way back to a forward square leg, down as I said, 3/4 way back to the boundary. Then he's got that forward short leg, he's got a leg gully, and he's got a fine leg, and a sort of shortish mid-on, wideish short mid-on. But Charles is playing well. He's getting in line, and none of the deliveries so far has been short and at the body of Brian Charles.
Well, let's see if Archibald can execute this plan. It's good to see that Cornwall has come back on the field and immediately has gotten himself involved. Nice to see captains trying a strategy or two to try to get a batsman out. Nothing was really happening all the time. We really have to see some short pitch bowling to see how Charles would handle it firstly. Probably it's not getting up as high as they anticipated. And this is the 4th day on this pitch, Colin. I don't know the bumper plan if it really is viable.
But you look at that, for example, that last delivery, it was short, and Brian Charles was just getting up on his toes, and he was playing it really well because he was getting right in line.
But it didn't get up as well.
Yeah, but he was, give him credit, he was getting in line and pushing it back up along the track. To the bowler.
His technique hasn't looked bad against the quick bowlers. I haven't seen him play a lot of attacking shots, but
No,
he's
he
not too
hasn't.
bad in defence.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure of this ploy. I would much prefer Archibald to bowl over the wicket, leaving the right-hander, getting it across his body, and then if he can, bring the one back at him. But I think going around the wicket, unless you're gonna deploy is really hammer it into the pitch.
We haven't seen him done that.
Yeah.
And I think that the field is set for that early. Two men down in the deep on the leg side looking for the miscued hook shot. There's also a forward short leg if he tries to play defensively through the short pitch delivery, and there's a leg gully as well. Yeah, well, that's a better line. That's the type of delivery he probably should have been looking for. There's a leg gully in place there. Nothing short, nothing over the waist so far.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange.
Well, Cornwall still has other options here. He's got Hayden Walsh. I mean, you've been out there for a while now. The Pacers don't seem to be doing the trick. Why not give Hayden Walsh the ball and see what can happen? Because it doesn't appear as though Cornwall would be bowling anymore. Good 2 spells he had yesterday, Colin. 14 overs for 14 runs with 8 maidens, and also picked up 2 crucial wickets.
Yes, he got Josh Da Silva and Akil Hossain.
Yeah.
Disappointed a little bit in Akil Hossain. It's the end of the over from Archibald, a maiden over. So Charles remains on 16. Cariah is on 44, 161 for 6. Yeah, it's he had come into this game very much in form. He played some really scintillating innings and came in here with some form and really hasn't done very well. Looks like Ishmaraj, is it?
Yeah, he's one
physio?
of the fielding coaches with the Red Force team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very hard worker, I can tell you, Ishwar Maharaj. Pretty good coach as well, Colin.
So it's going to be Berridge. It's going to be bowling for the first time this morning to Yannick Cariah.
Well, Cariah has been off strike for the longest while. He's stuck on 44 as well. Well, he gets a single, he gets Charles back on strike.
It's looking very, very comfortable at the moment.
Well, as I said, Pace is not doing a lot really. This is over number 61. That ball probably is a bit softish as well, Colin. And the wicket itself, it's a 4th-day pitch. It's really a bit of hard work there for the quickies. I would have brought on the spinners, or at least one, and tried to crowd on the batsmen, put some psychological pressure on them, encourage them to go for the big hits, and see what can happen. Every ball is hit in the middle of the bat right now. One slip, a gully, there's a man backward at point, a short extra cover and a mid-off. That's the offside field. On the onside is a mid-on, a short mid-wicket, and a man just behind square on the leg side. And again, Charles come quite confidently forward and pushes that ball along the wicket. So not a lot of exciting cricket really. We haven't seen a boundary in a while, Colin. Neither did we see a wicket since the start of the day's play.
I think it's just a matter of survival. These two, as I said, went out with the intention, and they would have been given the instructions just to bat and see what happens. I think the target would be out of the question. But again, look how easy pace this pitch is. Now you talk 61.4 overs have been bowled with this ball, but you know, the pitch is so easy pace. You sometimes have to wonder, in terms of the Trinidad and Tobago batting, what went wrong. 140 in the first innings and 162 for 6. And when you compare it to the Leeward Islands batting, where they got 357 in their first innings, you know, it's really and truly a situation where you have to say that Trinidad and Tobago batting, or the batsmen did not bat well.
Well, I thought that the new ball gave them a lot of trouble. I thought the moving ball, these guys really were bowling a proper line, and they were swinging the ball around, and the hardness and the shine, the newness of the ball, they didn't handle it all that well, because we lost early wickets, quite a few in both innings, and all were to the pace bowlers. So obviously they didn't handle the fast bowlers well, they didn't handle the new ball well. Now that the ball is so old, look how easy. I mean, when Joshua De Silva was batting in that first inning when he got 65, I mean, he looked completely different to all the other Trinidad and Tobago batsmen. It's going to be a couple of runs here. The man at fine leg was probably fell asleep, Colin.
Yeah, Archibald. So that's good running, actually. They've run 3. And it was just the Yannick Cariah just turned that delivery backward of square, and the man at fine leg never moved until very late.
Well, I wonder if he was a spectator for 1 minute.
Yeah, he never. Somebody must have shouted to him when he woke up.
Yeah,
and eventually got 3, but that's good running. So Cariah goes to 48 now, just 2 runs away from a half century. Would be a very, very well-deserved half century if he gets there. And 166 for 6 at the end of the over.
So would you agree?
You've got your wish. Hayden Walsh Jr. is into the attack.
Yeah, a couple of hours later, I believe. But do you agree with that, Colin, that thought that the TNT frontline batters, the top order batsmen, didn't handle the new ball and the swing and the paces of the Leeward Islands Hurricane all that well in both innings?
For sure. I mean, you look at it, they were 10 for 4 in the first innings.
Yeah.
And then they were 10 for 2 in the second innings. So the top line, I mean, they never got good starts, and it put in tremendous pressure on the middle order. And both Jason Mohammed and Darren Bravo went out in the second innings with a total on 10 for 2. And when they came together, and in the first innings, it was even worse. So they've really put a lot of pressure, the openers, because they didn't get off.
That's right.
Put some pressure on the middle order. Here's Hayden Walsh.
Wow. A point on the boundary for Walsh.
Cariah looks very solid, though.
I don't understand the field placing here, apparently, Colin. Why all these boundary riders? You've got 459 to defend, Mr. Cornwall.
That's a good shot from Cariah. That's going to bring up his 50. That's going to run to the boundary. That's a very good shot. It was just a push from Yannick Cariah. He was just on the front foot, and he pushed it past the man at cover and down to the boundary for 4. That's 4 good-looking runs for Cariah. Brings up his 50. 52 now from 126 balls.
Yeah, we finally seen a boundary, and it was a delightful shot off the front foot by Yannick Cariah. He just stroked that gracefully past the man at short extra cover. It was wide of him, but it was so well timed.
Yeah, it was just a push, wasn't it?
Yeah, gentle push as well. Here's Walsh. Colin, could you explain the field placing for me? The long one, the deep wicket, a backward square leg, and a point on the boundary.
Anil, I would have thought you would have had them mid-on normal and that deep mid-wicket, because you want to tempt Yannick Cariah to play a shot like that. He's not going to do that here. He's going to push it on the ground. You know, you're giving him an easy single down to long on. I would be totally shocked if Yannick Cariah gets caught at long on or that deep mid-wicket position. He's not going to play that type of shot. What you've got to do is try to encourage him to play that shot. Bring in the man at to a normal mid-wicket, bring in the long on to a mid-on, and say to him, well, go over the top. And if he succeeds, well, then fine. Because you're right, you got 288 more runs to win. Giving away a couple boundaries, it's not going to hurt the score.
Okay, I quite agree with you with the fieldsman in the deep on the leg side. Explain the man on the point boundary for as well.
That's for the bad ball. Yeah, no, that's the only logical reason in case he bowls a short delivery, but that makes no sense either.
That's absolutely senseless. I mean, I gave Cornwall a lot of credit for when he came on the field and he tried to implement a strategy of trying to set a field to.
That's a good shot from Brian Charles as well. That's going to run away. It was outside the line of the off some half volley, and he got his left foot to the pitch and he stroked it beautifully square on the offside. That's a really good shot. It is. He gets right to the pitch and he drove it sweetly. Brian Charles. So an expensive over here from Hayden Walsh. His first over, he's now had 7 overs for 35 runs. So 9 runs coming off the over. The Trinidad and Tobago now 175 for 6. Charles is on 21. Now I could understand you may want to put a field like that for Brian Charles. You know, have a few men on the boundary because he's the kind of player, the lower order batsman who may very well look to go over the top. But I'm always, if you've got so much runs to play with, leave it open. Give them the opportunity to go over the top. And if they miscue, well, you've won the battle. But talking about skipper and the field placing, Cornwall has brought himself on. And he's going to be bowling from around the wicket to the left-handed Yannick Cariah, who's just completed his 12th first-class half-century. Oh, he started to come down the track, was beaten in the air, and then just turned it past the man at forward short leg. Very interesting that Yannick Cariah was looking to use his feet to Cornwall. Cornwall in his 15th over.
We thought that he wasn't going to bowl again, Colin.
Yeah, well, not too sure. The finger, is it still? I'm trying to see if I can see a bandage on it still. Yes, I think there's a bandage on his. It seems to be on his
middle
next
finger.
to his next to the little finger. Not too sure. But and I'm using that little finger with Cornwall guardedly because he's a big man. Doesn't have a little finger. Oh, a loud appeal goes up and he's gone. Bryant, so the breakthrough comes. Rakeem Cornwall has done it. A delivery seemed to be just drifting away from Brian Charles. He pushed at it and got the edge into the gloves of Django. And it's the Django didn't seem very confident. He just raised the right hand. But the first slip, Cornwall, everybody was up. And the resistance from Brian Charles has come to an end. He really batted well. He goes for 21. Caught Django off the bowling of Cornwall. And it's now Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, 176 for 7.
Well, it took them a while, the Leeward Island Hurricane. But it took the captain, Rakeem Cornwall, to defy an injured finger and come on and immediately getting a wicket. And his very first over of the day's play for Rakeem Cornwall, he has removed the stubborn Brian Charles. Charles goes, caught Django. A very good delivery. He appeared just to be playing just inside the line. Probably went with the arm and got the outside edge. A smart catch by Django as well. So Charles goes for 21?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It had just gone with the arm and he pushed at it, got the outside edge. So it's 176 for 7. Anderson Phillip comes to the crease. The players are being refreshed. It's a water break at this point in time. So the Red Force won 76 for 7. Anderson Phillip, the new batsman. And Rakim Cornwall, look at those figures. 3 for 15 from 14.4 overs. On the attack now, with a slip, a leg slip, and a forward short leg.
That's the type of field placing that should have been employed, and the spinner should have been on a long while ago, Colin. I was always saying it.
It's going to be Hayden Walsh. It's going to continue. It's going to be interesting. The approach from Yannick Cariah now. Does he up the tempo a little bit, trying to get to... Because what his main aim now would be to get 100.
Well, if he can get the support from the other end, as I said some time ago, I think I wouldn't be too surprised he can reach 100. It's the ideal situation for his type of play, really. He loves to stay in the wicket long, and he's under no pressure whatsoever in terms of run rate.
Well, it appears now, Anil, when you look at the field, they're giving him a single. Outside of the man at mid-wicket, he is now going towards
short fine leg.
Short fine leg. Yeah, everybody else is about 3/4 way to the boundary. And long on is actually on the boundary. There's a deep backward square also, maybe about just a few meters inside.
That's 4.
And that's 4 runs. That's well played. Badly lined by Hayden Walsh Jr. Just lined on the pad, and all Yannick Cariah did was to turn it very fine. There's a short fine leg, but he turned it very fine indeed. And Powell couldn't get around in time. That's a good shot.
That's a very good shot. He played that very fine indeed, and it was more or less a whip, a sort of flick-like, Colin. So it was a quick delivery as well, because it sped down to fine leg for 4. There's a man at short fine leg. He's been brought finer.
Well, Cariah thought about not taking a single. Cariah thought about not taking a single because it was played down to that deep mid-wicket, and he certainly, you could see him start to run and then suddenly he stopped, but then he went through for the single.
Well, I think that he should allow his partner Anderson Phillip to bat normal with him and run the run with his own, because I don't think he should be trying to palm the strike just yet.
Yeah,
if he loses Anderson Phillip, I can understand him looking to palm the strike, but you got to allow him to bat as well, because he has the ability as well, just as Charles, to probably stay around for a while.
It's at 181 for 7. Well, runs for Anderson Phillip. That's going to run away for 4. He was on the back foot. Ball got the outside edge. Was in the air, but there's no gully or no second slip.
Well, exactly. You can't palm the strike from a number 9 batsman.
That's
He's
right.
supposed to be able to handle himself. And he's played a nice shot for 4 as well, Colin, off the back foot.
Yep,
I don't know if he deliberately opened the face or if it was a thick outside edge.
I thought he got a thick outside edge, but he went on the back foot. Loud appeal goes up. He's gone! So Anderson Phillip goes after striking the ball before for a 4. He goes, didn't seem to come long forward. And umpire Blaze says, well, he puts his finger up again.
Yeah, we can't see really, but what we saw here was in line with middle stump.
And he didn't move, did he? He wasn't forward, he wasn't back, he just stood there.
Yeah, the front foot was more or less on the crease.
Yeah, and got hurt on the back foot. So 185 for 8 now. So the end is getting close.
Well, Cariah now would have to probably look to dominate the rest of the batting, try to get as much of the strike as he can. Whether or not Anderson Phillip has the ability to keep rotating and allowing Cariah to take the strike, or whether he himself can stay out there with Yannick Cariah, we'd have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, Jaden Seals is the man walking to the crease. 2 deliveries left in this over.
Well, no wickets fell in the first hour, Colin,
Yes.
but 2 fell in 5 minutes.
Yes, very, very, very true. Walsh picking up his first wicket of the innings. And Jaden Seals, who stayed around in the test match against England with Joshua De Silva, for Joshua De Silva to get his 100, batted for a long time.
We tried to get a score in that game between Barbados and Guyana at the Queen's Park Oval in a while for you. That is an interesting contest there as well. But here is Hayden Walsh from around the wicket this time, and wicketkeeper is having a ball of a time there, is he?
Well,
Where did that pass?
It went straight
Buys
through.
all the
I'm
way.
not sure what happened there. It went straight. It's 4 buys.
It was
But where did it pass?
It was quick as well. I don't know why he threw himself on the ground after. Let's see what's happened here.
Just went.
Oh my God!
through his
It
legs,
beat him.
didn't
It beat him. Oh yeah. 4 buys, that is.
Helps the Trinidad and Tobago total up to 189 for 8.
It wasn't a bad delivery for Hayden Walsh, really.
He's coming round the wicket to the left-handed Jaden Seals. Oh, they're appealing for something that the bails haven't fell, so I'm not too sure.
Got to be LBW.
Unless,
But it does appear that he played it with the bat.
yeah, he seemed to have come down on it. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. So Guyana, having got to 490 for 7 declared, they dismissed Barbados for 266, and Barbados are now 106 for 1. Craig Brathwaite, he is still there on 43. Shamar Brooks is on 9, and Niall Smith is the one who took the lone wicket, that of Shane Mosley, who got to 48. So Barbados certainly putting up a fight in their second innings. It's a good. Look at that Barbados batting lineup, and it's a really talented batting lineup. And they would be very disappointed that they didn't do better than that 266 in the first innings on what seems to be a very good batting pitch at the Queen's Park Oval.
Yeah,
189 for 8 or 190 for 8 now. Cariah, he takes the single off the first ball, so he's showing some confidence in Jaden Seals. He goes to 60.
Well, he showed some confidence in Anderson Phillip a while ago. He got out the very second delivery he faced from the spinner. So let's see if Jaden Seals is more up to the task of handling this spin of Raheem Cornwall and Hayden Walsh in tandem. Here's Cornwall. Excellent figures. 3 for 16, and this is his 16th over. That's fantastic bowling.
Jaden Seals has got a good temperament. He's not, I would be surprised if he gives his wicket away. That's it, he's going to.
Well, all well and good in that, and saying that you're not going to give your wicket away, but you've got to have the technique and as well to handle the bowling.
Well, when I say he's not going to give a wicket away, I mean,
he'll be determined.
Yes, he'll probably not have the technique, but he's going to fight. He's as you're seeing there, he's long forward. He's trying to get behind the ball. He's not the kind of tail ender that will just try to go out there and hit the ball over the top. At least I've seen him on a few occasions, and I've never seen him do bat like that. He will go forward. He will try to put bat and pad close together. So in other words, he's not going to just try to hit the ball over the top and give his wicket away in that sense.
Everyone in close now, so not giving him anything whatsoever.
Actually, that's well played by Seals.
He handled it well.
Yeah, he was on the front foot all the time, and that's going to ensure that Raheem Cornwall, he's got to rethink his strategy. Maybe an arm ball, a quicker one, giving it some flight, tempting him a little bit, because as I said, Jaden Seals is not going to, doesn't give me the impression that he's going to try to go over the top. So what you got to do with him, from a Raheem Cornwall's point of view, is give the ball some air, toss it up, tempt him, let him see what he will do with that. He may very well go just long forward again.
Yeah,
but try something different.
He has even though he's playing defensively, you've got a man at forward short leg who has a chance for an inside edge onto the pad, whatever.
But that was almost like a replay, because every single ball, Jaden Seals went forward to it, and Raheem Cornwall bowled the same delivery, and we had the same result. So at times you've got to try different things, especially when you're bowling to a tail ender. And as dedicated as Jaden Seals is, I've got a lot of time for Jaden Seals. I've said that on many occasions, not only in terms of his bowling, but I like his temperament. He's a number 10 batsman, but he will go out there and fight it.
I think he should be working hard on his batting, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, he's exposed to all the facilities and all the coaching staff and everything to try to improve on your batting, and he should, because if you're playing at the international level as a fast bowler, there's always times that you're going to be batting as well, so improve your batting and improve your general cricket.
I could not agree with you more, and I think you look at the fast bowlers now, and they need to contribute. I've always said that. Not because you're a bowler, you forget your batting. I remember Glenn McGrath, for example. I was told that Steve Waugh took him as his personal coach, and worked on Glenn McGrath batting and improved his batting, and certainly at the end of his career, he was holding his own. I wouldn't say he was setting the scoreboard alight, but he was certainly going in there and was holding an end.
Well, there was a time, I'll tell you about this one, when Cricket Australia had a policy that each of the frontline batsmen, they were assigned to one of the bowlers on the team to be his personal coach. And they had tremendous competition within the bowlers who were being coached by the frontline batsmen, and who performed well, and scores and runs and all of that. There was a keen competition in that, and the bowlers as well improved tremendously in their batting.
Yeah.
And you know, the Australians, they've been having batsmen who can bat all the way down at number 11. I haven't seen it been happening here in the Caribbean really.
But even going back in the halcyon days of the Marshalls and the Holdings and these guys, Roberts, for example, Roberts won a World Cup game batting at number 11 with Derek Murray against Pakistan when they needed 61, I believe, or 61. And he came in at number 11 and they won the game and went on to win the World Cup. So it's not a matter of you being a fast bowler and just saying, well, that's my job. No, your job is to, when you go out there with the bat, is to get some runs as well.
Well, yes. Well, one
or
wonders.
At least the whole and end.
Well, one wonders whether Andy Roberts at that time, if he had any sort of intensive coaching from senior batsmen or things of the sort. I want to guess not. He probably was batting with his natural ability there.
That's right.
Yeah, but they can improve. They can all improve, and they can improve to be very, very good batsmen who can be dependable batsmen in the later half of the order.
And Anil, I'm not suggesting for one moment that they should be scoring 30 and 40, but when it's time to just hold an end, that's also important. Sometimes you go in there and a batsman is dominating, but he's running out of partners. You sometimes you have to go there and just hold an end.
Of course. And the general improvement in your batting, a lot of appeal there.
It's gone to the boundary for 4, so he got an edge, and think they may have felt that the ball struck the pad, but as far as umpire Butler was concerned, he got an edge to it, and it goes to the boundary for 4. Let's have a look. Yep. Well, where did that pass?
Well, you're now seeing it here from straight on.
So Yannick,
we missed it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yannick Cariah continues to bat here. He's gone to, is it 61 or 65? He's gone to 65. He's not looking for the single. He's decided that he will play out the over. So 3 for 20. That 4 damaged Cornwall's figures. He's got 3 for 20 now from his 17 overs. 195 for 8.
And Yannick Cariah moves on. He's
195 for 8. Yep, 195 for 8.
Cariah is 61.
No, he's 65.
Or 65.
He's on 65. Yeah.
Right, that 4 would have been, probably they recorded it as leg buys, but the umpire signal runs.
It was 4 runs.
Yeah, it's correct now. He's on 65. I think Hayden Wall should be flighting the ball a bit, man.
4 more. This time the edges here are proving very productive for the batsmen, because Jaden Seals just stood up to 1. It more or less ran off the face of the bat. I wouldn't say the edge. Seemed to have run off more the face of the bat. He was just in defense. And it goes down to third man for 4. So he's off the mark. 199 now for 8.
I don't know if Hayden Walsh is bowling just a bit too quick and a bit too flat. Should be looking to slow it up a bit and give it a little more flight. You're bowling to the number 10 batsman. Yeah, there it is.
4 more. Well, it comes off the edge. And the Leeward Islands fieldsmen, they can't believe their luck. The 200 is up. Gets a round of applause here, but let's have a look. Between wicketkeeper and slip, did it?
Yeah, it passed between both of them. So getting the edge there, but again not going to hand. It was a fairly thick edge. Wicketkeeper Amir Django couldn't really get the gloves behind that one in time. He's very close up. And that was a big deflection. And Rakim Cornwall appeared just to be a little wide there at slip.
That's right. Well, he's closing the gap now, Cornwall, and he's brought in a second slip. So he's gone even closer to the keeper. Another edge, and that's 4 more. Well. This seems to be one of Jaden Seal's favorite shots. Because let's have a look again. He pushes forward, outside edge. Maybe they need 3 slips on a gully.
Jaden Seals looks a bit edgy, Colin.
Looks a bit edgy.
3 consecutive edges for 4.
I gave him some credit
Oh
of
my
the
goodness.
first one where I thought
Yeah.
he'd have run off the face of the bat. But I'm thinking maybe he's playing this shot deliberately now, these edges.
That's probably his first hat trick.
Well, he's going to boast somewhere later on in his life that he hit 3 consecutive 4s in a first-class game.
So on a beaver trick here. And
That's incredible.
That's it? A beaver trick?
That's as incredible as a hat trick in 2 days in a row. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. He's edged another one, and this one it rolled all along the ground between the legs of the wicketkeeper. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I think they need to check Jaden Seal's bat, because it may not have a middle. That is absolutely incredible. I can't recall ever
It can't be luckier than
something
that.
like that. 4 consecutive boundaries with 4 edges. And you could see the Leeward Islands.
In one's you got to be careful because they can take him off.
Yes, you're quite right. 16 in the
Yeah,
over.
he can get
How
taken off
can
here.
get taken off? 16 runs in the over. Well, Walsh, you better get a dot ball here, or you could certainly be taken. No,
Three
not 3
slips.
slips now. Where's the gully?
They really need a long stop.
Well, he's beaten with that one. Didn't get the edge.
In case you're mistaken with the field placing here, it's not a fast bowler bowling, viewers. It's the leg spin of Ian Walsh.
This is really incredible. Like
4
County
edges in
Court.
the over, so he's brought in 3 slips.
No, Walsh was trying to ambush him there because Jaden Seals wasn't ready.
I heard the coach shouting a while ago, that's the shot to play in. Jaden Walsh. Not Walsh, Jaden Seals. Ooh, and another one
Well,
coming.
this time the keeper
Believe
was
it or not.
collected. Is it going to run away?
Believe it or not.
I don't think he played it, and I think he left it alone.
I'm not sure. I have to wait and see. Yeah.
Well, they're going to run a third one. I think that's not good cricket on the part of Cariah. Signal buys.
Oh my, well, all right.
I don't think that was good cricket because the fieldsman ran past the ball deliberately, and runs are not really important, and I thought Cariah should not have gone for that third run. Decided to do it, and they picked up 3 buys. So what an over. 19 runs. 19 runs coming in the over.
And you're telling me that you want to palm the strike from that guy? Colin, no man. He's just hit 4 fours and 3 buys as well came.
16, he's a 16 from 16, a runner ball. A strike rate of 100. Jaden Seals.
You got to give him the strike, man. Tell Cariah to hold an end for him.
Well, if this continues like that, they can get close to these 245 runs required. 214 for 8. Cornwall continuing. He's in his 18th over.
No, that's...
Field going up. Umpire Butler says not out.
He went on the back foot there.
Yeah,
Look
he
as though it's going with the angle and down the leg.
Yeah, he needs to come on that. He needs to come on the front foot, doesn't he?
Yeah, look at it again here.
Look, Seals now is flicking this ball away, and it's going to run to the boundary. So
Yeah.
another boundary. He's dealing in boundaries here, Jaden Seals. He's on to 20.
5 fours in that
5
20.
fours. Let's have a look at this shot. Well, took it from outside the line of the off stump.
It wasn't intentional, but
No,
he beat the
certainly
field as
was.
well.
Well, I think none of his first 4 boundaries were intentional either. And here he was looking to hit that through, not with Jaden Seals. You're not sure if he was looking to go through the offside, and it came off the inner part of the bat, but rushed past the man at mid-wicket. Thought they would have picked up a single there, but it went too close to man at that backward square leg.
Thought Cariah has done that on numerous occasions in this innings and even in the first innings. He missed out on a couple singles and a couple twos that he just took a single. But he's on 65 and he's held up the Leeward Islands Hurricanes since yesterday. He was on 36 not out overnight.
It's well played from Jaden Seals. He's negotiated the over. Not only has he negotiated the over, he struck a boundary in the over as well. So 218 for 8, the end of the over. It's Jaden Seals' mother, there is it? And his girlfriend. So he's got support here. It's always good to see the parents coming out to support their charges.
Well, they are threatening to take it to the luncheon interval, the TNT Red Force, remaining
well, at least
3 batsmen.
Well, it means we'll get lunch. Aidan Walsh is going to continue. 218 for 8.
Oh my.
That's this is the favorite shot against Aidan Walsh, because Cariah just stood there again. I'm looking at if he may have just guided that ball.
That was deliberately played, Colin. That was a delightful shot.
Yeah.
He came on the front foot and waited on it, and on contact opened the face, and he used the pace of the ball as well. Aidan Walsh bowls at a pretty brisk clip, and that was perfectly timed by Yannick Cariah. That was skillfully played. It went very fine down to the third man boundary there. Just now a third man on the boundary.
Yeah, because I was saying that he guided it, and they're not going to go. They're not going to take the single. Everybody except is on the boundary, or at least 3/4 way back, except the lone slip in Rakeem Cornwall. But there's a long off, a long on, a mid-wicket, backward square leg, short fine leg, third man, cover point, extra cover. Everybody 3/4 way back to the boundary.
Cariah on 69.
Yeah, inviting Yannick Cariah to take a single, but he's not so far. Coming up to the 4th ball of the over. Will he take it here now?
Yeah, why not?
Yes, he's going to take it.
At least you can trust your partner for one delivery,
Well,
Colin.
he's got 2 deliveries to face Seals, and that's good cricket. Take the single, let him survive two deliveries. He's on to 70, Yannick Cariah, 223 for 8. So some respectability being added to this Trinidad and Tobago total.
Yeah.
Having been dismissed for 140 in the first innings.
Someone was posting up on social media about Ryan Chandler Paul scoring 140 by himself, and the entire TT Red Force team were all out for 140.
That's right.
There's some guys on social media, well, they have no respect at all for players, Colin. Yeah, they post it, and they're very bitter as well about it. I don't really like to post
to each his own.
about
To each
cricket.
his own.
Yeah.
Well played by Seals. They are actually giving him the single, but Yannick Cariah is not going to take it. So the end of the over from Aidan Walsh. He now has 1 for 66 from his 11 overs. 223 for 8. Yannick Cariah is on 70. And Jaden Seals is with him on 20.
I was hoping I would have enough time to go and watch some of the club cricket just after lunch, Colin, but Yannick Cariah and him, they intend to keep me watching at this game for the rest of the day. Let's see the field for Rakim Cornwall. He's bowling to Cariah. It's a forward short leg. There's a slip. No one else in close catching position. There's a deep extra cover. There is a long off, a deep mid wicket, a backward square leg. So looking to give Cariah the single, but the last couple overs he has not been taking the single in the first 4 deliveries. More or less palming the strike, Colin.
I was about to say 38. This 9th wicket partnership, they've added 38 so far. He's looked very solid, I must admit. Cariah, he's looked very, very solid. He's, we keep saying that, he's a fighter. He's going to bat and bat and bat. The field coming in now, because this is the 4th ball of the over. And Cornwall, he's brought in the man from deep backward square to the orthodox backward square leg position. Then he's brought the deep mid wicket into mid wicket. The long on and long off, they have come into mid on and mid off. Cariah is looking for the single, was trying to push it through in the gap between a backward point and a cover point. But I think they didn't have the room in which to play that shot. So 5 dot balls. Will Cariah maybe go over the top, Anil? Look for a boundary?
Well, I don't see anything wrong in that. Once he's seeing it and the shot is on.
Nope. He's not going to do it. He's going to play each ball on its merit, and if he's going to wait on the bad ball, then he'll wait on it. The end of the over from Cornwall, 19 overs now, 3 for 24. It's 223 for 8.
Jaden Seals is now exposed to Hayden Walsh, who found the edge of his bat on 4 consecutive occasions in the previous over. Got 4 boundaries as well with that, Seals. Very attacking field. They've got 3 slips. A forward short leg, silly mid off, short mid wicket. Here's Walsh. Drives, and now Walsh fields himself. So it's a good encouraging sign there for the Leeward Islands Hurricane. Jaden Seals is ready to play shots. He's not going to stick around. I don't think he wants to stick around playing 2 defensively for too long against Walsh. Oh my. Looking to go on the back foot there to a ball that I thought that he should be playing on the front foot. Got to be careful because Walsh is a bit zippy. He pushes the ball with a fair amount of pace. Fairly quick for a leg spinner. Well,
wouldn't you, Anil, just give it some air, toss it up and, toss it up. Let Jaden Seals...
I was saying that a while ago. I thought he was bowling a bit too quick and not flighting the ball and slowing it up. Drop out the long on, the long off, and flight the ball. Look at this.
Oh,
he's prepared to play the shot.
He's having a go
and
at
even
him,
though you hang it a little longer, Colin, that would entice him.
Yep.
Drop out the long on, the long off, because even though he goes to the shot, you've got to have someone down there.
Yes, give it some air. Look at that. From the time he gave it air, Jaden Seals, his head was in the air and looking to hit it somewhere over long off. But
he wants him to go for the shot, but he's not flighting the ball sufficiently.
That's right.
Look at the pace of that. It's a dead ball.
I tell you what, Jaden Seals is taking a little while to settle in, and Hayden Walsh is just running through to bowl. And it's up to the umpire. He should have his hand out, waiting until Jaden Seals is ready, but he's not doing it. Look, he's now doing it. It's not the first time we've seen Hayden Walsh rush. Now he gets through his over quickly, but you must look up and see if the batsman is ready.
That's a bit of an ambush strategy. I don't know. I don't want to be so harsh, but the bowler must be aware when the batsman is ready. And if you see he's not yet ready.
And look at the umpire. He's not still doesn't have his hand outstretched. looking to pull a delivery. Not out, says umpire Blaze. So Jaden Seals is looking to play some shots. And you know, when you have a number 10 like that, Anil, he wants to play shots, give him the ball to hit. In other words, flight it, toss it up, but if you're going to bowl flat and he's going to just come on that front foot and block. It's just going to go on defense and just push it. Give it there.
That's right, Colin.
Let him.
Poor strategy. Yeah. At this point in time, I must say that the strategy is poor, really, to try to get Jaden Seals out. You're not flighting the ball, you're not slowing out the ball, and you're not enticing the batsman to go for the shot. I thought that he should have dropped out the long on, the long off, even a deep mid wicket, and let Hayden Wall just toss the ball up to Jaden Seals whenever he's on strike. He didn't do it, and he has given you every single indication that he would go at the bowling once it's hanging in the air.
Even with Cornwall, the same thing.
Yeah.
Give it some air. Just had a look at the Trinidad and Tobago scorecard. Doesn't make pretty reading for a lot of the batsmen outside of Cariah.
Cornwall as well is bowling just a bit too flat and quick. Try to put some extra spin on the ball, impart some spin, flight it, see if you can get a loop a bit, bring in the gully. I mean, even though Cariah is on 670 odd not out, you can still get him out. And even though he's covering boundaries, you can afford that.
Of course you can. And that should be the ploy. That's a good shot. That's a very, very good shot. Came down the track, used his feet, got to the pitch, and he whipped it to the left of the man at mid-on. Picked up 4 runs. Let's have a look. Uses his feet nicely. Was in the air.
Yeah, it was in the air.
But it was away from the man at mid-on. I have no problem with a shot like that. If you're going to play it in the air, just make sure you find the gap.
Yeah, he did that extremely well. I was wondering whether it was in the air. I didn't pick up the ball, actually. I was just going about to praise him for a delightful on drive. Those are difficult to really keep on the ground at times, especially when you're falling over a bit with the head and losing your balance. But he did well there, deliberately going in the air but going wide of the man at mid-on. Good shot.
.227 now for 8.
Oh my, mid-off is
He'll have to hurry.
Well,
it's gone overthrows as well. It's gone for 5 because no one really was backing up. But is it Berridge? It seems to be Berridge out there. He had to have a shy. It was a quick single from Cariah. Now he called immediately. Jaden Seals was standing on his bat, and the ball. He had to have a shy at the striker. It's interesting. Had he seen Jaden Seals started very, very late. I don't think Jaden Seals expected the call, but Cariah was on the move. But Berridge had a shy at that, the non-strikers, and he missed, and it went for overthrows and 4 overthrows. So 5 runs to Cariah. He goes to 79 now, just 21 runs away from what would be a really well-deserved 100. It's 232 for 8.
Well, Berridge was off the mark a bit late. He was caught napping, really.
I don't think
that was not a single.
No,
I don't think that single was on, and Berridge was caught napping as well. If he had been walking in, that I'm sure that Cariah would have been in some trouble.
Hayden Walsh, in his 13th over, 1 for 66 so far. 232 for 8. It's well played. The crowd enjoying this little battle now. Whatever amount of spectators we have here. They've come. That's a good shot. He's going to pick up maybe just a single. That's a good stop.
Well, he was beaten in flight there. He was coming down the track, and Hayden Walsh appeared to have held it back slightly. He wasn't to the pitch, but he made a good adjustment, Colin.
Yeah, he did.
To whip it around back with a square there, and he kept it on the ground as well.
So he picks up a single. He goes to 80, just 20 runs away with what... and if he does get there, it would be his 5th first-class 100. He's got 4 at the moment. And would be eyeing that. $233 for 8. Jaden Seals back in strike. Driving. Walsh still bowling a little flat to Jaden Seals. Just think that he's got to toss it up. Give it some air. You've got a long on. You've got a long on. This one, he smashes it. That's a good shot. That's a very good shot from Jaden Seals, because it was short and he got onto the back foot and he pulled it to the left of the man at mid-wicket. There's a deep backward square, but this one went towards more of a mid-wicket, and the man, Berridge, who is out there, couldn't get around in time. That's 4 good-looking runs from Jaden Seals. It was short and he played it very well.
Good shot, but Colin, if you have one man in the deep on the leg side, why wouldn't you have him at mid-wicket instead of backward square leg?
That's a good question. Or at least I would have had him a little bit more. That's 4 byes, is it? Yeah. Well, a quicker one from Hayden Walsh and went down the leg side. Django couldn't get around in time, and it's gone for 4 byes. What's happening here with the Leeward Islands?
Well, the cricket is beginning to look a bit scrappy here from the Leeward Islands Hurricane. I mean, wicketkeeper Amir Django as well. A couple of misses he has had, and all resulting in 4 byes. So he's not really picking up some of the deliveries from Hayden Walsh, the quicker deliveries. Fair enough, some kept low, but I thought that byes would be reading fairly high at this time. How many byes do we have there?
22.
Which arm?
22 byes.
Wow, that's too many byes really in an innings, and the score is just 241.
As a matter of fact, extras are up to 27.
Byes 22.
Which is the 3rd highest scorer in the innings. 80 from Cariah. And then you had 36 from Mohammed. Outside of the 18 not out from Cariah, you have 36 from Mohammed, 27 from Da Silva, and 27 extras.
That's a very high percentage of byes, Colin.
Of course it is. Now, the feelers for Cornwall back to Cariah, it's the orthodox field. They've done away with the fieldsmen in the deep, and Cariah's gone over the top. That's a good shot. That's an excellent shot by him, because he's on to 84 now. But I was about to say, the field has come back in. You've got a backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off, all in run-saving positions, and they've done away with the fieldsmen in the deep. And Yannick Cariah went over the top, as we just saw the replay, going over the top of cover down to the boundary for 4. That's an excellent shot.
Very good. A very smart shot indeed. He's realized that the field is in. we said it the over previously when Cornwall was bowling to a similar field, that he should be looking to go over the top. He's done that now. He's there for a while. Look,
one again.
Why not?
That's going to run away. 4 more. So Yannick Cariah now starting to open up a little bit. Once the field is in, he's hitting it over the infield. That's 2 consecutive boundaries, and he speeds up now to 88. 249 for 8.
Well, once the shot is there, he should be able to play the shot, because he's been there for a while. He's on 80 odd. And the field is closing. Everybody's trying to stop a single, so it shouldn't be all that difficult to go over the top. The man at cover is now hanging back just a little bit. That's the 4th delivery? The 5th?
The 5th, yeah, but you know, they've put that cover just to hang back a little bit. Interesting. Not sure if I would have done that. I would have said, okay, you've done it twice, do it again. And who knows? If he picks the wrong one, could go straight into the hands of the man at cover. At the end of the over from Cornwall, he's bowled 21 overs now, 3 for 41. Cariah is on 88. What a good innings it has been. And he's been ably supported now by Jaden Seals, who is on 24. And this partnership, well, it's gone way past the 50-run partnership because it's up to 64 at the moment. 64 from 68 deliveries.
Yeah, they've done it in quick time as well. Cariah really coming into his own here. He's batted very sensibly indeed since yesterday afternoon. He was under tremendous pressure, I tell you, with such a huge target.
Powell, Anil, is into the attack. I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe he's going to throw the ball up in the air and tempt Jaden Seals.
Well, that's the idea, really. He probably heard you, Colin. This is the field I was talking about. Set the men deep, flight the ball. I think that backward square leg should have been at mid-wicket, straight mid-wicket though. In case he wants to play the slog sweep ball in the cow shot.
He's got 11 first-class wickets. I'm not too sure the names of those players, but he's just bowling like what appears to be an off-spin.
Well, I'm willing to take a wager that he'd be out caught long on or long off Jaden Seals if he attempts the shot and doesn't make a proper contact.
Best bowling figures of 3 for 29. Well, he's given it some air, and Seals has picked that gap, a deep mid-wicket, to hit it for 4. Yeah, so very interesting, because if Seals goes hit it high over the mid-wicket position down. Now, if you're going to do this, you've got to have a deep mid-wicket. It's meaningless if you're going to toss the ball up to Jaden Seals. They've got a short extra cover and they've got a cover. Jaden Seals is not going to drive to cover. I will be shocked. So you've wasted one of the men there. Now they've got a deep mid-wicket. They've moved him from a deep backward square leg.
Well, just one delivery ago I was saying that, Colin, if you had one man in the deep and the leg side, instead of having him at deep backward square, why not have him in mid-wicket? That's exactly where that shot went.
Yeah, but Jaden Seals is going to play those type of shots.
Yeah,
you've got a deep extra, you've got a short extra cover and a cover. You need to do away with it. He's not, very unlikely that Jaden Seals is going to go on the front foot and drive towards that short extra cover.
Neither is he going to sweep all the way down to backward square.
Yeah.
So I thought they missed the boat there again.
But I agree with you. Even if you're going to have the deep backward square, you must have a deep mid.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, there is the Trinidad and Tobago scorecard, and the man there at number 5 in red, standing out, Cariah, not out on 88. And Jaden Seals is making a name for himself with the bat. He's on 28. As Raheem Cornwall starts a new over, his 22nd over. And this partnership, really excellent partnership so far of 68 runs. Cariah using his feet. Must be eyeing this 100 now. He's just 12 runs away. But we're closing in on the luncheon interval. And who would have thought we'd be here after lunch?
Well, they would
you certainly didn't.
No, not at all. So the Leeward Islands would be very, very disappointed at this time and frustrated as well, Colin. Nothing gets you more frustrated when you can't get the number 10 and 11 out. But right now we've got the number 5 and the number 10. Only number 11 to follow, and the Leeward Islands, they are struggling to remove any one of these batsmen at the moment.
Well, they're probably now just playing for the new ball because it's 77.4 overs bowled. Cariah has gone on to 89. Seals on 28. He's long forward.
We've got to send a message out there to Cornwall to flight the ball to Jaden Seals.
Well, he doesn't have a deep mid-wicket. This is a good hit from Seals. That's 4 runs.
Well, you know for a fact, once you entice him, he's going to go with a shot. Have a look at this here again. Flight to delivery, he goes with it. So have a couple men in deep positions for the big hit and keep flighting the ball. Continue to flight the ball. You can't just flight one, delivering the over to Jaden Seals. If it's Yannick Cariah, okay, I can understand that. But for Jaden Seals, he's going to go, and he has shown you that on so many occasions. The previous over, they missed out without having a deep mid-wicket. The flighted delivery of Powell's first over, that would have gone straight down the lap of the man at deep mid-wicket, wouldn't it, Colin?
It would have. 258 for 8. Seals on 32. Cariah is on 89. He's found a partner here to stay with him in Jaden Seals. Cariah whips this one to the deep long on. They're thinking of the second. It certainly is not on. That's good. A good bit of fielding out in the deep there. That long on position.
Archibald, is it?
Yep. No, that's not Archibald. Looks like Louis out there, is it? Louis. Can't quite make him out. But a single, nevertheless. 90 now. He's into the nervous 90s. 259 for 8. Jaden Seals is hit this one uppishly, but away from the man at long on. And Jaden Seals was looking to come back for a second. And Yannick Cariah was never interested. He was not going to go there. Not when you have Powell bowling. And there is he going just to the left. That was a good bit of fielding. The man out there, we were trying to make him out. It's Casey Carty. That's a good shot. That's well played. That's going to run away. Is it going to get into the ropes? Just about. No. That's 4 runs. Very well played. Ball just outside the line of the off stump there, and a nothing ball. And all Cariah did, he waited on it and just guided it beautifully down to the third man region for 4. That's a very good shot. He goes to 94.
Well, he's within striking range here of 100. Yannick Cariah. A maximum here would do the trick, but I don't think he'd be going for that. I don't think it's wise to do that. Yeah, 3 men in the boundary, 4 actually. Deep mid wicket, long on, extra cover. Here is Cariah.
Comes down the track again, whips this down to Carty at long on. He's going to just get the single, using his feet nicely to Powell. Powell none for 11. He's got 1 delivery left in his second over. Seals long forward. That was well played. The final delivery of the over. 265 for 8.
Well. I mentioned it earlier on that if Yannick Cariah had gotten support at the other end, I wouldn't be too surprised. Partnership now 80 of 86 deliveries. Well, they've done it at a pretty brisk clip as well. The 9th wicket partnership, a very significant one. This has to be the biggest partnership of the innings, not so, Colin?
Yeah, I was now looking at that, and it is.
Yeah.
Before this, there was a partnership of 48 between Cariah and Charles, and then there was one of 47 between Cariah and Da Silva. But this partnership has gone past that by a long way.
Oh yeah, and they did it in quick time as well. Cornwall figures now reading 3-4-46. At one time.
That's 4 runs. That's going to bring him to 99. Wow. Yannick Cariah 1 away from his 5th first-class 100 here. What a good shot, though. It was short. He got onto the back foot and he timed it sweetly, square on the offside. That's a very, very good shot.
Yeah, I was saying at one time Cornwall had bowled for 16 overs for 16 runs. He's now in his 23rd over. But that run column, it's gone up to 50.
That was a really a good shot. It was a short delivery, but how he played it, Anil, his timing, and just gave himself enough room to hit it square.
Yeah, he was backing away, giving himself room to have the leverage to play the cut shot, and he did it excellently, Cariah. So just a single, Colin, did I call it right this morning? I said if the tailenders held up with Yannick Cariah, I wouldn't be surprised if he should reach 3 figures. And here it is. Oh yes, come on.
Oh, Jaden Seals. Jaden Seals was having a little bit of a sleep, but here it is. Yannick Cariah, 100 not out. It's 270 for 8. His 5th first-class 100. What a good inning this has been. He has carried this Trinidad and Tobago Red Force batting all the way. He's been really helped here by Jaden Seals. No wonder he's given him a hug. I think he is giving Jaden Seals a hug rather than Jaden Seals giving him a hug. But what a good innings it has been. It's been mixed with real solid defense. He's been excellent. He's come into his own. The longer he's batted, he's played some very good shots. And it's a really well-deserved 100, Anil.
That's a 100 to be very proud of, and Yannick Cariah showed his emotions in no uncertain manner. He was very gleeful with that 100, and I as well, Colin, I'm extremely proud the way he batted in this situation under tremendous pressure. To have scored 100 there, I thought a lot of people would not have been thinking Yannick Cariah could have forgotten to 100. After starting the morning on 36, but I said that if he got the support at the other end, he's the guy with the kind of temperament. I wouldn't be surprised if he got to 3 figures, and he has done it. So congratulations to Yannick Cariah on his 5th regional 100.
You also have to say well played to young Jaden Seals. He's got the edge, and he's gone well. He stands up there very, very disappointed indeed, because he pushed at it and the ball took the outside edge, and Cornwall has picked up the wicket. He walks towards Seals. He can't believe it. And let's have a look at it, Anil.
Yeah, it bounced a bit, Colin.
Yep, that's right. So his 100, he finally goes caught by Powell off the bowling of Cornwall for exactly 100. And you're right, a little bit more bonks. He pushed at it and got the outside edge. But 271 for 9. Most importantly, though, he got to his 100, and he would be very proud. He would be very disappointed now that he was not able to carry on. And but 100 is 100.
Yeah, that was an excellent inning by Yannick Cariah. Tough luck that the celebration was short-lived, because he got out the very next delivery. But what an innings that has been under so much pressure. You facing a target of 459, and you lost the top order very early, and to see him come out and get 100 here, that was tremendous batting indeed. He used a lot of tact. It was a very smart innings indeed. He didn't take too many chances. He bided his time, and then he got on top of the bowling and decided to play a lot of shots. So that was a very good 100. Well done, Yannick Cariah.
Yeah, and I was just about to say well done to Jaden Seals as well, because he has this habit, and it was just pointed out to me by Vish, that he has this habit of staying with batsmen for him to get 100, for them to get 100. He did it with Josh De Silva, now he's done it with Yannick Cariah.
Well, this is what we were talking about a while ago, that the specialist bowlers on any team, they have got to learn to improve their batting so that they can, help their team in situations like these. And otherwise, you've got to improve your batting as a bowler, and that's a good supporting role played there by Jaden Seals. He had his slices of luck, no doubt. I mean, 4 consecutive edges for four boundaries. You have to have some sort of luck there. But all credit to him as well. But Yannick Cariah's innings was top class.
Well, the new ball has been taken, so they've decided enough is enough. They want to get out of this Diego Martin complex go back to the hotel, and Shino Berridge is the man on. Yeah, well, it's nearly lunchtime, but
wonder if they would
I think
go
they'll
on.
take an extra half an hour.
I know that happens at the tea interval. Not too sure if it happens at
Yep, it's, at lunch interval. It's supposed to. We'll wait and see if
I know these
Seals-
umpires just don't want to tell you that umpires are fixed time and all of that. They don't want to make any. You got to be flexible.
Well, this is Berridge. Seals now looking very confident, very comfortable.
So that's what, 4-4 Cornwall now? I think, yeah, that's good bowling by Rakeem Cornwall.
Yeah, 4 for 51.
Yeah. Came in for a couple,
23 overs.
yeah, a couple boundaries came in for the latter part of the spell, but he had been very economical earlier on. And this is it. That's the end of the game.
It's the end of the game. Poor Shannon Gabriel didn't face a ball, and a drive from Jaden Seals, uppish, and straight to the man at mid-off, who takes the catch. And it's the end of the game. They haven't, 2 wickets fallen, one after the other, as Colin Archibald takes a very straightforward, comfortable catch at mid-off when Jaden Seals just pushed at the ball and never got over it, and it was in the air. And the Leeward Islands have won here by 187 runs, is it? By 187 runs. The Seals goes, Court Archibald, bowled by Berridge for 33. It's 271 all out. The Trinidad and Tobago, the resistance finally has been ended. Anil Raja.
Well, what a game we have had here. Total dominance by the Leeward Islands from day one, and they have emerged as the victors in this game by a very wide margin. They faced a bit of resistance from the lower order here of the TNT Red Force, with Yannick Cariah leading the fight back and getting an even 100. It was a good effort from the lower half of the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen, especially Yannick Cariah, but all credit has to go to the Leeward Islands outfit. I thought from day one, even right up to today, that they have been in the driver's seat, and they have won by a convincing margin, really. So, well played to the Leeward Islands. I'd like to point out that Ricardo Powell was exceptional in the game. That won 39 and 80 as well. That certainly would put him in line for the man of the match. Also to Yannick Cariah for that 100. That was tremendous in the part of Yannick Cariah. It showed a lot of character in that inning. So, well played, and congratulations to the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, totally domination by them. And the players there just greeting one another at the end of the game. So let's look at the summary there. 357, the Leeward Islands, 140 Trinidad and Tobago, all out. Very disappointing first innings. 241 for 7 declared. And the Trinidad and Tobago, having set a target of 459, were bowled out for 271. Meant that they lost the game by 188 runs. And Rakeem Cornwall, they pick up the bowlers in the second innings. He came into his own, getting 4 for 51. And it was a thoroughly well-deserved victory by the Leeward Islands. We'll have to wait and see just where they go up in the standings, but that will propel them up the standings, very close, if not go past Trinidad and Tobago, and very close to Barbados, depending what happens in that game between Barbados and Guyana. If Barbados were to hold on and get some points, then that will be fine. If not, we could very well see new leaders here at the end of this round. So that's the situation. It's a victory, expected victory for the Leeward Islands by 188 runs. The highlight today was 100 by Yannick Cariah, 100 off of 180 balls. Been an excellent fight back from him. And unfortunately, it was just not good enough for Trinidad and Tobago to bat on and save the day. So that's the situation from all of us here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. It's been a great 4 days, well, 3.5 days basically, bringing the coverage to you. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll be back on Wednesday when round 4 starts with another regional game. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex.